Have you ever had an experience with a business that was so unexpected and so unusual that you just had to share with someone? You had to tell someone or text someone immediately or send them a picture because you just could not believe the experience that you just had. I'll tell you about mine. So I checked into a hotel once, and as I was at the front desk checking in, the guy behind the counter asked me, "Are you going to be using our shoe cleaning service?" And I said, I thought it was just like an add-on that they were trying to get me to buy. And initially I said, "No, thank you," because my shoes were fine. And then he said, "If you change your mind, it's free and you can just drop off your shoes before you go to bed." And I asked him, "What's free? The shoe cleaning service?" He said, "Yeah, we clean your shoes for free." And I was like, "What?" And so I decided, okay, you know what? I'll check it out. And so, before bedtime, I passed by and I dropped off my shoes. And so the next morning, I expected that, they were just going to do like a, brush off the dust and do a little like wipey thing. And just, a very basic, it's free, right? And so when I got my shoes back, I was impressed. I was shocked in like a good way because they professionally cleaned those shoes. They did the whole leather conditioning. They cleaned the laces. They actually took them out and washed the laces. They did such a good job. I was flabbergasted. And, the guy, again, behind the counter could see the expression on my face because I was like, "What? This is really nice." And, we started to have a conversation about it. And he said that, it's just something special that we do for our customers because, we realize that having a clean pair of shoes really boosts your confidence. It really adds that little, pep in your step. So we just wanted to offer that to our customers. And so that was my experience. And of course, as soon as I checked out, I called someone and told them about it. Like, can you believe what just happened? And so if you've ever had an experience like that with a business or a service that you were so impressed or you were so shocked or you just could not believe it and you had to immediately tell someone, did it ever occur to you that that experience had been very carefully engineered for you to have that exact reaction? And that's what we're going to talk about today. This particular marketing tactic falls under the category of talk triggers. Talk triggers is a phrase or a term that was popularized by an author called Jay Baer that wrote a book called Talk Triggers. And I recommend that you read that book to get a better understanding of these types of tactics. And the key ingredient here is to create an experience that is bigger than either the product that you're selling or the service that you're providing to your customers, that creates a shareable moment that differentiates you from your competitors or from other businesses that are kind of selling the same thing. And not only that, it promotes word of mouth marketing, which is by far the most impactful and the most efficient form of marketing there is out there. That is the objective, to get someone to talk to someone else directly about your business. And there's other examples out there that you've probably experienced. A famous one is Costco. They have a $1.50 hot dog in the food court that has been that price for a very long time. And it is obviously a price that is way lower than the market rate, but they do that because it is this outsized, outrageous kind of experience that people have that they want to share, and people talk about it very often. Sometimes it's a product. Five Guys Burgers has, a meal that they offer where they give you an extra large serving of fries. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to request it in any way. But whenever you order a meal that comes with fries, they will give you like an outrageous amount of fries. And people always talk about how much they got when they went to Five Guys Burgers. Sometimes it can be how you name your products. I can think of Ben and Jerry's. They have like some very silly names for some of their products, and that gets people talking. That gets people sharing. That starts a conversation. So when you think about your business, is there a way that you can engineer these special shareable moments, either from experiences or from a product that you're offering, or from maybe the way that you name your products, just something that just stands out, that is so unexpected and that is so impressive to the customers that they just cannot help themselves but share with someone else. So let's talk about what makes up for one of these moments, one of these shareable moments. The first thing is that it is unexpected. It is not, a thing that maybe some other business is doing, or a thing that is just slightly impressive or just slightly more than what you offer. It has to be something that creates an outsized experience, something that creates a reaction that you can clearly see on your customer's face, something that stands out and stands out in a big way and in a good way. It doesn't have to be expensive, because if you think about my experience with the shoe cleaning, it probably doesn't cost that much for that hotel to have either 1 or 2 employees in the back that do professional shoe cleaning. So it is not a huge expense for the business, but it is an outsized, impressive experience on the customer end. Another thing you want to consider is it repeatable, right? You have to be able to be consistent with that kind of service or that experience. Can you carry that on for, your busiest day, right? Can you carry that on for all of your customers to have that same experience? Is it also something that is easy to share, easy to tell someone else about? Is it something that is easy to explain? If you can make it as simple as possible, but also wildly impressive, then you will hit the mark with this one. And then the last thing, does it reinforce your brand? Does it align with your brand values? Does it align with your company mission? Is it something that you can stand by for years and years to come? You want it to feel authentic. You want it to feel like just part of what you do. You don't want it to feel like you're trying, because if it feels like you're trying, or if it feels like you're out of your comfort zone, your customers will also be able to detect that. So make it something that can be very naturally integrated into your business. That way the customer just feels the love and not necessarily the effort that's going behind it. So if we try to bring this closer to our businesses, building material suppliers and construction materials manufacturers, how can we do this in such a way that it feels authentic to our customers? This is something that you will need to brainstorm with your team, maybe talk to a few of your customers and try to get ideas. Things that might be able to stand out are things that you offer maybe your first time customers or customers who have been loyal to your brand. Something where you think about their day-to-day and the business that they're in. What is it that will create an outsized impact that will be very special and meaningful to them? Think about the places where they work, the job site. Think about the projects that they're involved in. Is there something that you can do that will make that experience better, that will be unexpected? I can think about maybe weather situations. Is there maybe a kit that you can put together during special weather seasons that will help them out? Just something that will show that you are thinking about them and you appreciate them, and in such a way that they're not expecting. And as I said, word of mouth marketing is the most impactful form of marketing out there. So if you can trigger people to share with other people and talk about your business on your behalf, then that will really bring you more leads, more customers. It will super grow your business.